Hi everyone. I thought I'd do a flip through on a new traveller's notebook that I've made. This is a project that I started yesterday, which was a day off work, thinking that it would only take a couple of hours, but it ended up taking me all day yesterday, and it's still not completely finished the way I want it, but it's certainly well on the way. And yeah, so I thought I'd give you a look at what I've done. But first off, I want to say that the words of what's inside this are not mine. I didn't write them. It was something that I watched on the internet, on YouTube 2 nights ago, and I just absolutely loved it. And so that's why I wanted to actually write the words out of this thing that I watched. What I watched was 11 minutes long, and so I'll try. What I'm going to try and do is put the link to that video in the description box, but I've never actually linked anything to the description of any of my videos, so I'm not sure how to do it. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to do that, and if not, then I will do a quick video just to give you an idea of what to look up, so that you can have a look at this thing that I saw. I'm all over the place here, I'm mumbling, sorry. Anyway, so long story short, I was going to write this thing out, and which I did do, but then during the course of writing it out, I thought, well, why not put it into a book, because it was just so beautiful what I read. Like what I saw and what I was writing out, that I wanted to put it into a book. And so that is how this came about, because of course it was going to start off, I was just going to write it in a notebook, and then that sort of grew into making a notebook, which grew into making a traveller's notebook. So those of you who know me know that I overdo everything, and so which is why it went from being something that I could do in a couple of hours to something that's taken me a day and a half. All right, so let me stop rambling on here and just get on with it. Now, this is going to be a bit difficult to show you because I'm trying to do it with one hand, but just quickly, as you can see by the size of my hand, this is just a small traveller's notebook. That's the spine of it, and that's elasticized, and it's just threaded through a hole here. And to cover that, I've just put this little thing here and threaded it through, and so that just sort of slips off. And this, the cover, is just from a vinyl placemat, which is another idea that I saw on a tutorial on YouTube. So as I said, it's 3 notebooks. There's 3 signatures in here, and that's what, then, like I did up on the computer, I did up what I'm going to show you in a minute. But the other thing I want to show you or tell you before I do this flip through is that, with the exception of this, the placemat, every single thing that I have used to make this was given to me. It was given to me, some of the, like all the cardstock was given to me by a friend from work, which I used to make the signatures. And all the embellishments, the stickers, the little paper clips, little decorative paper clips, the washi tape, everything was given to me by my pen pal sisters in Happy Mail. So that in itself is just an absolute blessing. So I feel like there's a little bit of all of my precious sisters in this book, you know, so that, which makes it just that extra bit special. Anyway, so let me show you. So what this was the Bride of Christ waiting for her groom. And so I'll try and like stay on each page long enough for you to have a quick read. But as I said, you can always pause too and to read each of the pages. I did these up on the computer, and the images I got off the computer as well. As I said, all the embellishments are from Pen Pal Sisters. So the stickers and the washi tape, and that's lace there. And I think there's only one page, but it's in the third book, so which I haven't gotten to yet, that isn't double-sided. Like all of these pages are double-sided, which is what I wanted, because I don't deal with blank pages very well because they just look so dull and boring. So as I said, if you wanted to read a page and I'm going too fast, just pause and you can read it. As I said, this is still a work in progress because I still want to add some embellishments to it. And the other thing too, I love dangly bits, and I love things hanging off and sticking off the edges and stuff like that. However, the purpose for deciding to put this into a book was to carry it around in my handbag, and so having all these little extra bits hanging off it is just going to make it difficult to have in my handbag. So so I've had to kind of limit myself. I just put some washi down the middle of this signature because that's where the staples are, and it just helps to protect it a little bit more. This elastic, which is the same as what was the closure, that was given to me by a friend. It was some stuff that her mother had, and that was a real blessing because I didn't know how I was going to hold all of these signatures into the book, like into the cover, because elasticized anything is not something I have around the house. Sorry, I'm covering up the words here. So, as I said, I've said multiple times already that like everything that I have used has been given to me. So I know that Kat is going to be watching this video because I told her that I was going to do it. So Kat, I just wanted to tell you that I have used every single bit of the washing tape that you gave me. Now I've used it all up. And she sent me such a beautiful bundle of washi tapes, and I have now used them all. So not just in this project, but in others as well. But I just love washi tape. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. I know I'm rambling now. Sorry. The images that this story, true story, it's a true story obviously because we are the bride of Christ and we are waiting for his return. The image that it conjures up is just so beautiful, and so this is the end of this signature, so now we're going to the next one. So just the images that this story conjures up just warmed my heart. It was like a heart hug, and so that's why I was so compelled to write it out, and how it went from being something I was going to keep on a piece of paper to, I think I skipped one. Yes, sorry. It's a bit hard doing this with one hand. Yeah, so that's how it went from being something that I was going to keep on a piece of paper to this. This is not what I set out to do to begin with, but as I said, I don't do anything by half measures. I'm classic at overdoing everything. And as I said again, just pause it if you want to read any. It's so worth reading. It's worth writing out and keeping for yourself, and keeping it in your purse or your handbag or your Bible. It's just so beautiful, and there's a lot of reminders in it. There's reminders about being prepared and watching for our Saviour and for his return, and even though we are saved, don't fall asleep. Don't be like the 5 virgins who hadn't kept enough oil to keep their lamps alight while they waited for their groom. So it's important for us to be prepared and to keep watch and to be ready. And I've heard a saying, which I'm sure many of you have heard, that we are to live our lives as if Christ is returning this afternoon. And I think that's a good guide to live by, because he could return any moment now, and you don't want to be one of those people who is not ready. So, and when we think about like the sacrifice that Christ made for us, for his bride, and how much he loves us, you know, why wouldn't we be ready? Why wouldn't we be looking forward to his return and counting the moments and getting impatient sometimes? So almost at the end. And I wanted like these images. I've seen so many of these images of, you know, depicting the bride of Christ, and I love them. I think they're just so beautiful. So I wanted to sort of put those throughout this little booklet that I have made. I'm trying to speed up a little bit because I'm up to 10 minutes already. So as I said, pause it if you want to look at any particular page a bit longer and read what's written on it. Because some of them are a bit long, like this one. And here we're up to the end. Oh, I can't wait for this day. I cannot wait for this day. Wow. And this day. So this came from a pen pal sister, which I just love. I mean, I live in Australia, as a lot of you know, and I've never seen ribbon like this. It's just beautiful. And there we go. And I just put these in, and so this is the end of the second signature. And so this one is completely empty because I haven't put anything in it. And I'll tell you something funny, because maths is not my strong suit. And when I had done these up, like these little panels with the words that I wanted on each one of them, I counted it up, and I had, including the pictures, so including pictures in these, I had 60. And so I was working out how many pages I was going to need. And so brilliant me, I came up with, obviously I'm going to need 30 pages because there'll be 2 per page. But I forgot that I was folding each page in half, so there's actually going to be 4 per page. So that is why I have ended up with an entire signature at the back here that has nothing in it. But that's not a big deal, because what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to put other things in it that really heart hug me, like song lyrics, you know, like the words to I Can Only Imagine by Mercy Me, or to How He Loves Us by David Crowder Band. I mean, I just love the words to those songs, and so I'm going to write those out and put them in there, and all sorts of other things. But as I said, I wanted to have it small so that it will fit in my handbag. And so this is the almost finished result of this tiny little write-out project that I started yesterday, which has turned into a grand exercise. But I'm really, really happy with it. And yeah, so thank you for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed this. And I love you all. And as I said, I'm going to attempt to link the original video that I watched. I'll attempt to link that, and I will also attempt to link the tutorial that I did on how to make these notebooks, because I did do a tutorial on those, on how to make them. So I'll attempt to put those 2 links in, and if I wasn't able to, I will come up with some other way of doing it. Alright guys, have a good night, and I love you. Bye.